Hello friends, welcome in Sunday's Reads chapter 23. I don't know this chapter, okay. Welcome in Sunday's Reads, where we going through the fragments of books that I found interesting and I want to share with you. And today's fragments are from the summary of the book, Essentialism, I hope I pronounced that well, by Greg McKeown. And I hope I pronounced this as well correctly. Okay, so let's go. Essentialism means minimizing triviality and focusing on things that hold significance. Our lives are so full of tasks and responsibilities that we struggle to set our priorities straight. We often find it challenging to identify which are the most important to us. Even though we go through our to-do list and pick the ones we should prioritize, we still have too much on our hands. These excessive activities massively hinder our productivity. Fortunately, by adopting essentialism's 4 main points and focusing on only a few essential tasks, you can set your priorities straight. First, do less but do it better. The basic principle of essentialism is recognizing and discarding the less important things in your life. After doing this, you can focus your attention on what matters. Second, toss the idea that you need to accomplish everything and choose specific directions from which you can excel. Third, dedicate time to one or two most important things instead of trying to make little progress in many areas. And 4, question yourself regularly and update your plans subsequently, determining what's worth your time and what you should let go of excuse me, what you should let go of is continuous. Less but better is the key motto of essentialism. You should always decide whether what you're doing is worth it or if you should invest your time and energy in another area. Ultimately, once those few essential tasks stand out from the trivial many, an essentialist wastes no time implementing the changes. If we let ourselves become swamped with tasks, we lose the ability to make choices for ourselves. Do you always say I have to instead of I choose to? If so, then you are living a non-essentialist lifestyle. So many of us fail to take charge of our ability to choose. This problem happens because of learned helplessness. We've grown so familiar with the feeling of being overwhelmed that we approach our lives with utmost passivity. If you start viewing your life as a compilation of choices, not obligations, you'll begin to realize your true potential. The term learned helplessness originates from a 2-part experiment on 3 groups of dogs exposed to electric shocks. In the first part of the trial, the dogs in Group 1 had a lever that would stop the shocks. Group 2 had a lever with no effect. Group 3 receives no shocks at all. In the second part of the study, all the dogs were put in a huge box that was divided in two. One half emitted electric shocks, and the other released none. Those dogs from Group 1 and 3 made their way to the shock-free side. However, the dogs from Group 2 remained in the shock zone. Simply put, they had learned to be helpless. If you give up your power to choose, you permit others to choose for you. When people forget about their free will, they get used to helplessness. Their lives become a function of other people's choices. Such is the way of the non-essentialists. On the other hand, essentialists embrace the power of choice, which is the focus of their belief. No matter the situation they find themselves, essentialists always remember that they can make choice. They never give up their right to choose. They understand their potential for change and impact. This power motivates them to move forward and stay focused. No matter the obstacle, they believe in their abilities to overcome it. Nothing can truly hold them back. They are similar to Stoics in this way. They understand their power to live their lives to the fullest. Be open to the idea of doing less and see trade-offs as a part of life. If time travel was possible and you could go back and build wealth by investing in a company, which one would you choose? IBM? Microsoft? Apple? While the enormous success these companies have enjoyed over the years might make them an obvious pick for some, Southwest Airlines would have given you the most significant return on your investment. The truth is, Southwest Airlines displayed a remarkable level of success by focusing on one of the key principles of essentialism, doing only a few important things very well. Instead of offering their customers additional choices like first class, seating, meals, and seat reservations, Southwest Airlines focus on one thing: flying people from one point to another, and that's it. No frills necessary. They realized that they would surely fail if they tried to do everything. Instead, they focus on excellently doing only a few things, which help them become successful. However, adopting this approach can prove difficult, as it requires us to be willing and able to make trade-offs. While it might sound easy enough to cut out unnecessary tasks and leave only the most important, we become convinced that we can do it all. For instance, when the success of Southwest Airlines became obvious, Airlines decided to copy its strategy. Rather than cut back to a few vital essentials, Continental erroneously, I don't know how to pronounce this, sorry. Erroneously, I have to look it up. No, I want to look it up. Concluded they could do it all. Their solution was to continue running their regular airlines and create a separate brand, Continental Light, to provide a budget service. However, the operational inefficiencies that resulted from pursuing both strategies meant that Continental Light wasn't price competitive. Ultimately, they lost millions because they couldn't let go of the non-essential and concentrate on what was vital. Any organization set up for long-term success must embrace the reality of trade-offs, prioritizing one strategy over another. That will be it for today. Next week, we will discover what we can do to retrace our steps and return to what matters most. I hope you enjoy it, and with all this, I wish you many blessings.